I want to talk to you about the home inspection and what it means for you as a seller and things that can come up that freak a buyer out and make them want to back away. So let's just say you've had your home on the market, it's gone under contract, they back out, now it's back on the market. A lot of times potential buyers will look at that and go, wonder what's really going on. When a lot of times it's minor issues that come up in the home inspection that'll freak a buyer out. Let's all admit it. We've seen a home inspection, and if you haven't, I'll be more than happy to show you some. But there are lists and lists and lists and lists and lists of things the inspector points out. A lot of times it's not systems failing, it's just things that they find that are of concern or should be monitored. But when a potential buyer, especially a new buyer or someone who hasn't bought in a long time, sees this list of 35, 40 things that are pointed out on the home, they freak. And like I say, between you and me, a lot of times it's very minor stuff that can be taken care of by the homeowner or simply by hiring a handyman, spending a couple $100 and getting a lot of these minor things fixed. Let's start with the first thing that gets inspected, and that's the foundation. A lot of times on a slab foundation, it's been nicked, and if any rebar sticking out, they're going to point that out. Any kind of wiring sticking out from the concrete, they're going to point that out. That can be an easy fix with some Quikrete and a little instant setup concrete. Also, if it's a pier and beam home, make sure the trash that's underneath the home has been cleaned out. I don't know, sometimes it just gets under there, it blows under there, animals, something drags it under there, it gets dropped during construction and left. But make sure all of that's cleaned out. Home inspectors a lot of times won't go under the home if there's a lot of trash. They don't want to crawl through it. They don't want to know what might be under it. So either get under the house or get someone under the house to clean some of that trash out and get it out of the way. Second thing would be the gutters on the home. If your home has gutters, and a lot of them here in Central Texas don't, but if you do have gutters, go ahead and clean those out even before listing. That way when the home inspector gets on top of the roof, they're not full of trash, not full of things that might get pointed out, and then they're asking you to hire somebody, a gutter company, to come out and do it, and it's probably a lot more expensive than just getting on a ladder, taking 2 steps, and cleaning out the gutter. The other system on the outside is the roof. Hey, if you've got tree branches brushing on the roof, that's going to be pointed out, and they're going to ask that you hire someone to come out and trim the tree. So, and especially the insurance company after the inspection, if they come out and look at the home, they're going to say, hey, those trees have to be trimmed. So if you have a way to get up in the tree or a way to get on the roof and just trim those trees with some loppers, get them off of the roof so they're not pointed out and not shown as a big issue. Also, if you find any fasteners, I know a lot of times on roofs here in Central Texas, the nails will pop up. So if you get somebody up on the roof with a hammer, can just knock some of those down. If there's any loose shingles, go ahead and throw a little Black Joe or whatever, glue those back down. That will be a plus as well. That way it's not called out on the home inspection. Because like I say, this list gets long, and the longer the list gets, the more freaked out the buyer gets. So we're trying to reduce that list and do simple fixes that either you can do yourself or hire a handyman to come out one afternoon, one morning, and just knock a bunch of these out really quickly. Number 3, while we're on the roof, let's get under it. Let's talk about the attic. A lot of times people will set rat traps or mice traps up in the attic because they get up there and they run. Let me tell you, get up there and clean those traps out. Because if a home inspector gets up there and a mouse or a rat has been caught and you haven't been up there in a while and it's kind of dried up, they're going to point that out. Also, a lot of times vermin like that will make ruts. If you have blown-in insulation, they'll have trails. Rake those trails, because that's all you want is for a home inspector to call out, hey, there was a rat problem in the attic. We don't know if they're still there, but they were up there. Well, let me tell you, buyers freak out, especially about rodents. Now let's walk around the home on the interior and look. Do you have any holes in the walls? Have you opened a door too fast and the doorknob created a hole? Do you have minor cracks above a window? Those things can be fixed pretty easily. Yes, it'll stand out sometimes if you don't do it correctly and look like you have fixed a problem. But a lot of times you just hire a handyman, or like I say, you can do it yourself. I know I've searched other YouTube videos on how to do that and just bought some of that filler, put it in there, got the paint that was on that wall, put it on, and it made it look 100 times better. Especially if you've knocked a hole in a wall. They have a little grid that you put over that glues up. You put the paste in it, you smooth it out, you texture it. If your wall's textured, you paint over it. Nobody knows the difference. But if I come in to look at your home, or I come in to inspect your home and I see a hole in the wall, I'm like, hey, they didn't take care of this house. What's going on? I want that fixed before I purchase it. So as a realtor, I always point out the safety things, and I will always ask that you repair the safety information and the safety, anything to do with safety in the home. So we're going to start with smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors. Smoke detectors need to be operable, so if you've not changed the batteries in a long time, change those batteries. Carbon monoxide, especially if you have gas in the home. I have gas water heater in my home. Gas furnace, make sure you have carbon monoxide that's also operable, because if it's not, it's going to be called out and you're going to be asked to go purchase new. Another thing that gets pointed out and people start freaking out about is weather stripping. Do you have weather stripping around the doors? Do you have weather stripping around the windows? Make sure, like if it's during the day and you look at your front door and you can see light coming through the bottom, put some weather stripping up. Stop that light from coming through. That will freak out buyers, and they ask for that stuff. And it's stuff you can go pick up at Home Depot or Lowe's or your local hardware store. Walmart even sells weather stripping. Just go pick up some weather stripping. Put it around your doors where it needs it. Make sure your windows are sealed. Now that we're on windows, windows need to open and close. If you have a window that's been painted shut, it's going to be called out on a home inspection. And guess what? It's not cheap to have somebody come out and either make that window open or replace it. So if you can, go around, make sure your window's open and shut. If you have screens for your windows, make sure they're put on the windows before showing or the home inspector comes over. But make sure windows open and shut. Now we're going to electricity. Again, here's some safety issues to think about. But the electric panel, when an inspector shows up, you have to have access. I know my electric panel's in a closet behind a bunch of clothes. So if I'm having a home inspection, I need to clean that closet out to where that inspector can get in and get to my electrical panel. Also on the electrical panel, a lot of them are older. They may have had a circuit taken out and there's a blank hole, but it's a hole where things can get in. That's going to be called out, and they're going to want you to call an electrician out to fix that. Well, you can buy little blanks at the hardware store to go in those holes to cover them. Also, it will be pointed out if you've not labeled your electrical panel, such as this switch controls the living room, this switch controls the kitchen, this switch controls the bedroom. Just go through, flip the switches, know what lights come on and off, what plug-ins come on and off, and just label it. Even if it's old and it's been written on, you can't read it, just get you some white sticky notes, some mailing labels or whatever. Write the names on them, put them beside the switches. That way it's not called out on the home inspection. While we're talking about electricity as well, here's a big one, especially when you're showing a home. Make sure all your light bulbs work. If you have a light bulb not working when you inspect a home, I was in a home one time with a customer, the kitchen light didn't work. Well, what's wrong with the kitchen light? Is it an electrical problem? Is it a bulb burnout? Is it a switch? We don't know. What's it going to cost to have an electrician come out and fix that? We don't know. Well, if you reach up there and you find out the light bulb's burnt out, you put a new light bulb in for, well, today with these new fluorescent bulbs, it might be $6 or $7, but it's a whole lot cheaper than me calling an electrician to come out and say, hey, your light bulb's burnt out. Another electrical issue that you'll want to think about is wall plates. If you have some that the little screws have gotten loose and they shake and they wiggle, or the switch itself, or the plug-ins in the walls, get those tightened up. It's a very easy fix. If you're scared of the electricity, go throw the breaker. You've already labeled it, I hope. And just tighten those screws up. Make that stuff tight to the wall, because it will be pointed out in the home inspection, and they're going to expect you to hire an electrician for something that you can do, or have a handyman or someone in your family do in the matter of minutes, where an electrician is going to cost hundreds per hour. Get those things taken care of. Here's another thing that I run into a lot of times. The HVAC filter, the filter on your furnace and your air conditioner. Have a clean one put in, especially before showing. A lot of people, when they're looking at a home, that's the first thing they go to. They want to make sure that they're going to be able to have hot air, cold air in the different seasons, and make sure that it's clean air, because a lot of people tell you they have allergy issues. So just make sure you throw a clean filter in before showing start, and throw another clean filter in right before the home inspector shows up. I was in a home the other day. We opened up the grate as we were doing a showing. There was no filter. So where does the mind of the buyer go? Straight to, well, I wonder how dirty the ducts are. We're going to have to hire somebody to clean the ducts if we put in a bid for this home. So simple things like an HVAC filter can be changed right before showings, right before the home inspector, but make sure it's clean and make sure there's one there. So it's simple fixes. Simple, simple things. And like I say, they can be done before you even put the house on the market. That way it shows better, makes people think that it's a quality home, something they want to purchase, and you don't have these issues. But when they receive a home inspection that's 3 miles long, they start going, there's a lot wrong with this house. They either want a lot of money taken off the price to fix it, or they want you to hire professionals to come out and fix a lot of times what are minor issues. I've also put together a list what to expect from a home inspection. It gets you as a seller ready to make sure you have certain things lined out to make it a lot easier on the inspector. That way they're not there hunting, fishing, looking for different things. That way it's very easy. Everything is good to go. All you have to do is click a link down in the description, put in your email, and I'll send it to you. Hope that you've enjoyed this information. If there's anything else that you would like to know about getting your home ready to sell, I'll be more than happy to shoot a video, put it together for you, and give you some information.